So yeah, here I am aboard the Venturer. It's kind of small, not really expect from a spaceship. Functional. It's got a refreshments area, where food is produced by machine and presented in packet form. It's rather devoid of stuff. Apparently everything was destroyed in a fire a couple of years back. Joining me now is Anna, a loyal companion to Stephen Brown. Oh, and this is Robo. Say hello, Robo.
Hello, Robo.
Nice line of humour there for a robot. So, how did you come to travelling with Stephen?
I was programmed by Robo to wait for the Mellowstone Stephen Brown. I was sent to Earth where I waited for 2,000 years before he arrived.
2,000? I hope it was worth it.
Was that the question?
Just being rhetorical. Robo, I hear you're somewhat of a legend, I understand. Sally Crawford said you were awesome. Have you always been aboard the Venturer? Or did Mr. Brown find you someplace else?
I was presented as a gift to Stephen's father after he assisted a group of technicians on a project. He installed me when he constructed the Venturer, and I have remained loyal to Stephen ever since.
Well, it's been nice talking to you both. I'm sure you've served him well over the years. And cut! You mentioned the Mellowstones. Who are they?
Stephen's own race and planet Rhubarb.
His family. Do you know much about them?
His father and stepmother are alive, whereabouts unknown. They chose to live a reclusive existence away from the media. His two surviving brothers, Phipps, who is court official on Rhubarb, and Marsh. Marsh is the black sheep of the family.
Any chance of me grabbing interviews with these people? Or former companions? I've read loads on the net. There was his sister Lizzie, and then there was Jimmy, Emma, Algie, Astra.
I have data on all travelling companions, but I must add that most of them are either deceased or scattered around in time and space.
Did they not leave an address? Any of them on Facebook or Twitter?
You do not understand.
I think I do. I have the making of an incredible documentary and a fantastic testimonial to a living superhero. But I have very little in the way of primary research, as my lecturer is fond of saying. Interviews, cutaways, without them this project is useless.
I wasn't aware the transporter held any information in its memory banks prior to the fire.
The files are indestructible.
So you have access to the coordinates for every single location that the transporter sent Stephen to?
Affirmative.
Why hasn't Stephen used it? To revisit his past?
It is the one function of the ship that Stephen remains unaware of. His father, Simon Brown, made it clear that no one should ever access the databank.
And you want to let the stranger use it?
It is a worthwhile project, and it is in a good cause.
I agree. Charlie, Robo and I have had an idea. Where's your friend?
She's gone to the rec room to grab a glass of water.
We shall join her, and I will tell you about the ship's data recorder.
Data recorder? What's that?
It's an onboard archive of every journey Stephen has made. It has the coordinates of every single place and time he has ever visited.
You get this? So, we can visit Stephen's friends?
Apparently so.
But after all this time, anything could have happened. He could have died, or married, and certainly moved away from the area Stephen originally visited.
You do not understand. The transporter will take you back into moments from Stephen's past, snapshots of his previous adventures.
Oh wow, that's so cool.
It is also fraught with danger. As you are aware, Stephen is known for getting into trouble. Your life may be threatened.
Yeah, think of the footage we'd get. Michael Moore eat your heart out.
There are strict rules you must abide by. You will be travelling back into history, into Stephen's history. It is essential that you do not
alter history? Or interfere with anything?
Correct. You must not get involved in anything. Even if you think someone may be in trouble. Even if you see someone get killed in front of you.
You up for this, Chloe?
I'm nervous, but it sounds like the journey of a lifetime.
When do we start?
Charlie, what are you doing?
I'm limbering up. I'm going to be like Ross Kemp, living the life of a journalist in peril.
I have taken a random selection of archived journeys and fed them into the transporter. I can only access a limited amount of information from the data recorder.
Transporter will be using a snapshot device, meaning you will be pulled out of locations with very little notice. You'll only have a few minutes in each place.
I'm sure that'll be plenty enough time to grab some Vox Pops. Let's do this thing.
Charlie, chill.
Oh, and I'm sorry for being rude.
Hey? What do you mean?
You'll find out.
Transporter ready.
Activate, Robo.
Whoa!
You big girl.
We'll edit that bit out. We've actually travelled. They really can travel in space.
Did you really think otherwise? That spaceship was enough proof for me.
That's Stephen Brown. Well, one of the faces he's used anyway. So, the guy he's talking to, that must be Detective Constable Jack Porter.
Shall we go over and speak?
Wait, Anna said we have to make sure Stephen never sees us, or his future self will find out.
Shall we go and talk to them?
The data recorder says we're somewhere in France, at the castle of the Marquis de Sade. Come on.
Don't talk to the peasants, Jack.
Hey, what's going on?
It's okay. We're not hostile. We're making a documentary.
You're English.
Yeah, obvs. Anyway, my name's Charlie Hunter, and this is my good friend Chloe.
You've got a camera. How can you be here now?
We're making a documentary on your good friend Stephen Brown. We were sent down by, Robot.
Robo? You're from the future.
Your future, yeah.
Do I survive?
Who's supposed to be asking all the questions?
Oh, sorry. You carry on.
Jack Porter was the first of our Vox Pops, and once he got over the shock of seeing 21st century filmmakers in 18th century France, he was very obliging.
Well, he's stubborn and moody and argumentative, but he's my mate. He's a real asset to the force. One of the best detectives that never was. I'd lay down my life for him.
A prophetic comment, seeing as Jack Porter will eventually die from a gun wound when saving Stephen Brown's friends.
Can we go soon, Steve? We've been here all day.
Time is relative, Aggie. What's a day compared to a few minutes, or a year perhaps? Or the life of a dog? What is a day?
24 hours, 1,440 minutes.
I need some more sample bags from the Venturer.
88,000 seconds. It's not even listening to me.
I am listening to you, Aggie, and don't exaggerate. Now, a day is only 86,400 seconds long. See you in a few thousand seconds.
Smart Alec.
Poor old Aggie. I hope I never come across to her as an arrogant know-it-all.
Aggie? Aggie Waller? She was a refugee from the Ravens who befriended Stephen. Got killed from falling from a tree.
Here?
No, we're on Beta 4. Let's go find her.
He's an arrogant know-it-all, and he thinks that I whinge, but I don't think that I do. I've only been travelling with him a very short while, but secretly I am really enjoying it. Stephen saved me from a depressing and violent existence, and for that, I'll always be eternally grateful.
As Chloe and I grabbed more interviews, we soon realised that Stephen Brown had been a true hero to many, and not only had saved lives, but enlightened them.
Sally and I stowed away, and to be honest, Steve didn't want us on board. He and I didn't really hit it off at first, but after Wales with all the fuss and the poltergeist and that, he valued our bravery and loyalty. Now we've joined him on our travels. How lucky are we? He's pretty cool, actually.
Being chased through tunnels by zombies, that's my overriding memory of time travelling with Stephen. We got into so many scrapes, I don't know how I survived. We were quite close before he changed bodies. Never seemed the same after that, we couldn't quite gel. So he dropped me back to Alpha Centuria, and really it's the best thing he could have ever done for me. Now I'm a High Court judge. So really, my friendship with Stephen has given me self-confidence and determination.
I see so little of him these days. He used to come to Rubat quite often, even if it was because he was in trouble with the authorities. See, at one point, he was charged with the murder of our brother Tawara. But thankfully he was found innocent of that when some evidence came to light and our other brother, Marsh, was implicated for that crime. See, Stephen's my brother, and I love him dearly, and will always think of him as so. And the family have always been so proud of his achievements.
Stephen Brown, a legend amongst the Milestants. His home race on Rubat. Possesses no particular powers, carries no weapons, but he has defeated so many would-be dictators. Can no one gain an upper hand against him? Sorry. Good chap, I actually saved his life once.
Yes, Stephen Brown. He's
tall.
Yes, tall, and he's.
And he's got brown hair.
Yeah, and he's.
He's.
Yes, and he's always surrounded by lots of fit birds.
Well, I've only just got to know him, but he seems very kind and caring. He's got this big smile, and there's something about his eyes, like they've seen much sorrow and fighting. But I'd really like to get to know him better. After having run away from my aunt and uncle, perhaps I can gain employment as his housekeeper. But there's almost something magical about him. But there's that peculiar green ring.
Not everyone was Stephen Brown's greatest fan. One of our interview sessions nearly turned quite nasty.
So, a documentary on Stephen Brown, eh? What do you make of that, Lachlan?
Groovy. Oi! What's a documentary?
Pathetic, ridiculous little dwarf. So, you want to know everything about Stephen Brown, do you?
He's really, really annoying. I mean, annoying. He always stops Death from winning.
Quite.
I mean, Death will come up with an amazing plan and have death and destruction and all this stuff going on. And Stephen Brown just swoops in and beats him really easily.
Yes, thank you, Blockland.
Every
I don't think
time.
they need to know about that. Yes, he's my brother. I'll admit it. But I tolerate his existence, that's all. Suffice it to say, he should count himself extremely lucky that I allow him to continue his existence.
Lucky. Very
Come
lucky.
on, Lachlan.
Very lucky. Although, is this on? If you're doing a documentary on my Bina, I'm your man.
Excuse us.
Overall though, most people couldn't praise him enough.
I always remember when I turned 18. I found out that Steve wasn't actually my real brother, that we weren't really related. I was so angry.
Yes, but that's all water under the bridge now. They're poles apart as people, but they are brother and sister, and fellow adventurers. Although I must admit, it is good to have Lizzie back with us at the moment.
Yeah, I suppose we're soulmates, really. Me and Steve. He's my best friend.
You asked me about Stephen Brown. Well, he's my son. I'm Simon Brown. I'm immensely proud of him, I have to say. I don't see much of him these days. He's off on his travels, but I don't hold him back. And, well, as I say, I'm proud of him, but then who wouldn't be proud of a young man that's a superhero?
Well, he's from outer space, but not many people know that, which means that it would be the story of the century, and I'm going to be the one to tell it. So when you guys are finished with your little college project, maybe I could have a look at the footage. I could make a 6-part documentary on the adventures of Stephen Brown. Yeah.
He's nothing without me. He was completely useless when I first met him. He was pulling clothes off a washing line. Oh, you didn't know who he was, didn't know where he was, didn't know what he was doing. I sorted him out though. So, in a way, I kind of feel like I'm the hero around here. Whoa, Anna, it's okay. These guys are making a film about Steve. I mean, they're not wearing hoods.
And that is what Anna was apologising for on the Venturer. Everything was going so well until our interview with Algie.
And I loved every minute of our travels together, even if they've been, a little bit hairy at times. So we're in the middle of a battle with these tubcons at the moment, and you really have to have your wits about you for every single.
Algie, what are you doing? We've got to get away. They've almost caught up with us. That's just trying to beam us up. Who the hell are you? Damn! Run!
It was here on Salisbury Plain in 1896 that things went badly wrong.
My dear friend, I do believe you've done it.
I could not have done it without your help, Stephen. I am indebted to you.
Stephen was doing what he does best, helping others. And in this instance, the famous experiments on telegraphy carried out by none other than the great Marconi.
History was unravelling as it should until yours truly managed to seriously mess it all up.
No!
I suddenly realised the dangers of time travel.
At last, you have arrived. You failed to heed my words and have now changed the future of the Earth forever.
Where are we?
This is Earth, London to be precise. A London under the martial law of the Tubcons.